Whiskey is one of the most consumed alcoholic beverages in the world, selling over 1 billion bottles a year. To convert whiskey into liquid gold, you need grain and coal, but have you ever wondered how the world's best-selling liquor is made? Every new bottle of whiskey leaves this factory in the state of Tennessee, is the famous Jack Daniel's distillery, in this small quiet place in the south of the United States, produces high-quality whiskey. It all starts with the spring water, which supplies every drop of every whiskey bottle. This source pours 3,000 liters of fresh and clean water per minute. As this line-filtered water contains no iron, this is important as a mere remnant of iron would give the whiskey an unpleasant metallic taste. To make alcohol, you need high-quality cereals. Every day, 450,000 kilos of cereals are unloaded. The whiskey is made up of 80% corn. Corn gives the whiskey its sweet flavor, 12% malted barley, and 8% rye, a fresh, peppery grain that gives the corn its flavor, then is poured into a machine, which crushes the grain. Cereals are mixed with water and heated. In a few hours, the enzymes in malted barley will break down the starch in the grains and turn it into sugar. They add yeast to turn the mixture into alcohol. Inside these 150 milliliter fermenters, they mix this sweet liquid with yeast left over from the last fermentation. Soon the yeast will devour the sugar and release the alcohol and carbon dioxide. Storing the yeast guarantees the use of the same variety. Over time, yeast can change, so they have samples of their yeast, special cryogenically frozen, at -125 degrees. Keeping it below zero ensures that this year's whiskey, and 100 years from now, will be exactly the same. After 6 days, most of the sugar was converted to alcohol. This liquid is known as distillation beer. To turn this beer into a quality whiskey, you have to separate the alcohol from the water. The process begins by heating the beer below boiling point. And then it goes into a steel still. Where it exits through a tube, it cools, condenses, and a clear liquid is obtained. The end result is a liquid composed of 70% alcohol, which is called green whiskey. The solution is to filter it. And for that, charcoal is necessary. To get the unique taste of this whiskey, they use the same whiskey that the company used 150 years ago. The wood comes from the sugar maple and the trunks are cut in autumn. When the amount of sap is less, they dry it for 12 months. To turn the wood into charcoal, they have to burn it, and for that they use whiskey as fuel. Once the whiskey ignites, the wood begins to burn. The charcoal burners are sprinkled with water to extinguish the fire. The green whiskey is poured on top and allowed to filter. It takes about 10 days to seep through all the charcoal, and when it comes out, it has a mild, slightly smoky flavor. To give the whiskey flavor and color, the barrels are fired and the inside of each barrel is charred to caramelize the natural sugars in the wood. To give the whiskey its color and aroma, 500 barrels are filled in an hour and each one holds 200 liters of whiskey, pumping around 378,000 liters of whiskey a day. The smell of whiskey penetrates the pores and is even dangerous, being very flammable and can cause a fire, or even an explosion. When filling is finished, they are loaded onto trucks, which will take them to the warehouse. This cellar is 7 stories high, and in that space fit 20,000 barrels of whiskey. This is just one of the 74 cellars. The whiskey must be stored for 4 years before being bottled. The situation of the barrels in the warehouse has a huge effect on how the whiskey matures. The bigger the barrel tastes, the more expensive the whiskey. The whiskey is mixed with a little water to bring the alcohol down from 59% alcohol to 47%. Then they start filling the bottles. Then it's finally ready to ship to whiskey lovers around the world. Are you a whiskey lover? Leave your opinion in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with other people who might be interested. In addition, subscribe to this channel by turning on notifications to continue learning. I hope to see you in an upcoming video. See you later.